empty. Hickok45 playing with one arm. Yeah, I'm in the game with one arm today. There's some good stuff on the internet that you want to go find and about this topic. It really is. But can you really believe somebody who has two good arms? Can you really pay any attention to what they say if they have two good hands, two good arms? So yeah, I don't have much use of it. I can move these fingers, I can steady things a little bit. I'll try not to even do that. But if I move or try much, it hurts, you know, and I don't want it to hurt because I want it to heal, you know, so I don't want to aggravate it. So I'm babying it even more than maybe I'd have to, although it's just been like 6 days, so it's definitely not really started healing much, I'm sure. I broke the 5th metacarpal, for those of you who are in medicine, okay, right there on the edge. The one you use when you're playing karate, you know, that one's broken. So I am one-handed, you know, so I went through that same thinking process of, okay, what gun do I carry now? Do I carry the same gun? And, you know, maybe a couple of firearms I have placed around, or, you know, how do I change my approach? So let's go back to shooting table here. And I just want to talk about a couple of things that I have found useful. And I'll cover a couple of things that I think are kind of universal, that I've noticed a lot of the trainers and a lot of people kind of agree on in terms of how to get a pistol into battery. With a semi-automatic pistol, that's mainly what we're going to talk about today. I brought out the FN509. I had a couple. I got a Glock with a great rear sight for this too. You notice at least once I was you know, going into battery, and this is what's recommended, is just using your belt or your belt buckle. Just hook it on your belt, and you can do almost anything you need to do. You can put it into battery without a lot of trouble. It's easier than it looks, maybe. Okay, so you can put a round in it, and of course, one of the things that's useful, like that gun in that condition, say I'm on the range, and I want to put live ammo in it. There's a lot of ways to do it. The holster is a really good place to have the gun. Have a good holster, and then you can do this. You can put a loaded mag in it, and then just on your belt, you're ready to go. All right, that's one way to do it. Okay, I'll just fire that one out. Hold my ear. Okay, so now it's clear. The other thing that's handy is, you know, when I was shooting, you noticed, let me put it in the holster. I want to get it to, like, by and large, if you're carrying a semi-automatic pistol, my advice and what I would do is, in my current conditions, I'd make sure it's hot. Right? Make sure it's hot. So if I have 15, 16, 17 rounds of whatever in my pistol and it's ready to go, I'm probably not going to have to fumble a bunch of reloading and all those sorts of problems. I'm probably not even going to need the firearm, right? But, you know, many of us, we carry because it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. So, you know, I should be okay. But, you know, Murphy being there all the time, you got to think about things, and reloading and a malfunction. A couple of important things. I don't have a round in the chamber right now, so I can put one in there pretty easily. Or sorry, there's no loaded mag. I almost forgot already. So once I'm in that position, if I shot it dry, you saw me do that, then the trick is get it unloaded, put it back in there, get it back in the holster, and reach around, and then get a loaded mag and pop it in. That's one way to do it. Now I can pull it out. Now, again, the recommended thing to do, I think the trainers will tell you, is go ahead and rack it on your belt or in your belt buckle. But realistically, I've got a nice slide release, so I'm probably just going to use that, okay? Because I know my condition, my situation. They talk a lot about training for both hands. You know, you don't know which hand or arm you could lose in combat or something, and so you want to have consistency and train the same way with both arms, and you know, so maybe that's what you want to do. Personally, I would just use a slide release, probably slide lock. All right, and you notice what I did there in the beginning. I shot it dry, dropped the magazine, and another method is put it between your legs like that, and you grab a mag out of your pouch or wherever you have it, and you just pop it in there. And also, it's recommended you pound it on there to make sure it's seated on your belt. Make sure it's seated. Generally speaking, though, you know, if your firearm is open like that, you know, it takes nothing to seat that magazine, does it? So you're probably going to know you're going to click in or not. But you still do that to be safe. You know, you want to use good technique over the years if you're training. All right. So that worked well. I mean, for me, that works really well. If you're standing, or even if you're lying down, you know, you might be able to get it between your knees, get that mag, and get it in there and get back in the game. Another method, I'm not going to lie down on the ground, but if you're down, one thing they'll show, I'll try not to sweep John here, is get it right there in the crack of your leg, and then you can put a mag in it, right there. That holds it real tight. That's another place. Or just stick it in your belt, okay? You can stick it down your belt. You got an empty gun. Now, it doesn't seem too safe, but, if you're in a firefight, you're careful, you'll probably survive it, okay? So I could put the mag in and ready to go, okay?